Is this what you look like at night? Don't be easily discouraged because of your own anxiety.
In fact, your experiences is far from unique. Today, more and more young people, when faced with pressures from academics, employment, social life, and other aspects, instinctively reach for their phones and open TikTok, hoping to temporarily escape reality through a flood of diverse short videos. According to survey data targeting individuals aged 18 to 25, over 70% of respondents said they scroll through TikTok as a way to relax when feeling low or under heavy stress. However, this type of relaxation often unknowingly stretches into 30 minutes or more, providing an immediate burst of entertainment but also deepening concerns about wasted time and postponed responsibilities. So let's begin with a few real-life experiences from several peers to better understand the confusing and tangled relationship between anxiety and endless TikTok short video scrolling.
When you are facing pressure from exams or papers, do you turn to TikTok to ease your anxiety? And why do you choose that?
Well, every exam week I get super anxious and there's just too much material to go through and I feel like I'm not studying efficiently. So I naturally want something to distract myself. And TikTok has tons of funny short videos and even just watching for a few minutes makes me feel a bit less tense. But sometimes I can't stop. Like I plan to scroll for just 10 minutes and suddenly an hour has gone. Then I have got even less time to study. And that makes me even more anxious. So it's kind of a vicious circle.
Do you usually watch TikTok short videos?
All the time.
And do you think TikTok can really heal you when you are feeling anxious?
I think it helped it, especially when I watch a motivation or positive video. And sometimes I feel like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna get my life together. But honestly, that feeling doesn't last long. I just move on to the next video and don't actually take the action.
Okay, so have you ever felt more anxious from watching TikTok too long?
Definitely, a lot of time I see people showing off their perfect life and all great, and I start comparing myself. I feel like I'm not doing enough, but it honestly makes me feel kind of defeated.
What do you think are the features of TikTok that grab your generation's attention the most?
I think what stands out the most is how well TikTok gets me. Like I watch a lot of food videos or funny campus clips and it just keeps feeding me more of the same. And one after another. It's endless. When I see something cool, I'm like, wow, what's the next? And it's hard to stop. Plus, everyone's on TikTok, so if you don't know the latest trend, you kind of feel left out. Conversation back in the dorm.
These interviews reveal that scrolling TikTok short videos during anxious moments isn't simply a way to relax your mind. For many young people, it feels more like an ongoing psychological tug of war. Academic and time pressures compel young people to seek quick stress relief, and TikTok's short, rapid contents precisely fulfill this need. At the same time, algorithmic recommendation and social feedback reinforce the tendency to keep scrolling endlessly. While the vicious cycle of self-comparison and procrastination becomes more pronounced against the backdrop of TikTok's portrayal of an idealized perfect life. So, what is it about TikTok that affects us so profoundly? From the perspective of young users, the trending short video content on TikTok typically falls into four main categories: comedy sticks, motivational study influencers, aesthetic lifestyle vlogs. These short videos often go viral among young people due to three shared characteristics: instant gratification. Lasting only seconds to a minute, they quickly satisfy the need for fast entertainment. High sensory impact, fast pace with catchy music and rich visuals, capturing attention during anxious states. Low cognitive load. During anxiety, people tend to avoid complex information. Short videos offer a mental safe zone that demands minimal effort. Beyond content, TikTok keeps users hooked through platform algorithm and intentional design. The app builds detailed interest profiles based on users' watch time, like, and comments. According to the 2023 China Cyber Psychology Research Report, Z-generation users are particularly susceptible to the echo chamber effect created by recommendation system, where repeated exposures to similar content reinforces existing emotions, making it even harder for anxious individuals to break away. Unlike platforms like Weibo or WeChat, TikTok operates on an infinite scroll model. Users never know what videos comes next, and this unpredictability fuels the impulse to keep exploring. When people are anxious, the brain prefers distraction over confrontation, making TikTok a low-effort, high-reward emotional escape. More importantly, this cycle of the more anxious you feel, the more you scroll, the more you scroll, the more anxious you get, is aggravating the psychological burden on young people. Short videos offer temporary relief and a sense of joy, but they don't actually address the root of anxiety. Instead, when time is lost and tasks remain undone, users often feel guilty and self-blame. In addition, watching a lot of other people seem more successful and more disciplined content can also trigger comparison psychology, which can increase dissatisfaction with your current situation. As a study by Peking University School of Psychology and Cognitive Science points out, mechanisms of information overload and instant gratification make anxious individuals more inclined to choose media offering immediate rewards. Yet such media often lead to deeper psychological fatigue. Two cross-disciplinary theories help explain this behavior among young people. First, the uses and gratification theory shed light on why anxious users turn to TikTok short videos. It argues that audiences actively select media content based on their needs, whether for emotional release, entertainment, or social comparison. For young people under immense pressure, short videos deliver quick psychological rewards, offering humor or motivation within seconds. TikTok's interaction mechanics, likes, comments, and follower counts provides momentary validation and a small sense of achievement. Second, the media dependency theory suggested that individuals become more reliant on specific media during times of psychological conflict or environmental change. Faced with intense academic, career, and social competition, plus digital information overload, young people tend to treat entertainment media as a safe zone. TikTok's algorithm and endless stream of content create a seemingly infinite psychological buffer. Once anxiety is momentarily soothed, users are more likely to return to the same platform for relief, reinforcing dependency. Yet this comfort is fleeting and superficial. The core issue remains unresolved. As anxiety resurfaces, TikTok short videos become the default escape route, tightening the grip. At a deeper level, the inability to stop scrolling stems from the paradox of instant gratification. On a personal level, anxiety often comes from uncontrollable stress, like exam failure or job market uncertainty. Short videos offer a low-cost emotional substitute. Come the lower cortisol levels, motivational clips create an illusion of progress. But these satisfactions are superficial, essentially a downgrade from deep emotional needs to sensory stimulation. Vlogs of a perfect life, enhanced with filters, widen the gap between perceived and real life, fueling feelings of inadequacy. On a systemic level, TikTok's algorithm weaponizes this compensation. The endless scroll interface distorts time perception, while social feedback loops create a false sense of belonging. Users trapped in behavioral inertia. According to Exploding Topics report on average screen time for teens, the average teenager spends 7.2 hours per day on screens. falling fragmented attention, and sleep deprivation. At its core, short video platforms act as a media buffer zone for social pressure. As upward mobility narrows and real-life socializing becomes costlier, young people increasingly project emotional needs into digital space, but the platform's commercial logic renders that shelter fundamentally false. Algorithms push emotionally charged content, like beauty challenges that spark appearance anxiety, turning real-life tension into fuel for virtual competition. This is a form of attention exploitation. Platform profits from users' anxiety while leaving them more mentally exhausted. Thus, young people's inability to stop scrolling TikTok short videos isn't just about lack of self-control. It's a product of societal pressure, commercial media design, and genuine psychological need. To break free from this immersive trap, we may need efforts on three fronts. For individuals, it's about recognizing anxiety, accepting pressure, and setting digital boundaries. Ask yourself before opening TikTok, do I really need to watch that right now? For platforms, it may help to introduce more humane time limit reminders and emotional support prompts, replacing autoplay with intentional viewing and building a pool of anti-anxiety content focused on real-life stories or stress management tools. For society, communities and campuses can provide offline emotional support, like anonymous message boxes or skill-sharing workshops, to fill the emotional void left by virtual socializing. In summary, only when individuals, platforms, and society work together can we truly break the cycle of the more anxious you feel, the more you scroll, the more you scroll, the more anxious you get, and help young people step out of the hood.